Hello YouTube and welcome to How to Smials. Now a smile is a hobbit hole and that's the official name given to them, and we're here on the hill terrain that I made a couple of days ago. I'm going to do this hobbit hole and then I'll be doing a couple of forest stuff as well because that's what somebody asked for. So I've actually recorded a video and then decided that I wanted to redo the intro, so that's why the hobbit hole's already built. And just before we get into it, I'm going to talk a little bit about hobbit holes. Now hobbit holes are for the rich and the poorest of hobbits. So the very, very rich would be the likes of Bag End, and then the very, very poor, there'd only be two or three buildings, two or three rooms. You'd have maybe like a hall, a kitchen, dining area, maybe a living room type area, and then a bedroom. Very, very basic. Think about your normal house today. Maybe you've only got two rooms downstairs, and then you've got a bed or something upstairs. And I think there's somebody near me because I've just been AFK and just come back, so everyone's probably jumping around. So you've got that. Or the richest ones, they have 10, 15 rooms. They've got double rooms for everything because they just can, because they're rich. All the other sort of hobbits would live in houses. So yeah, which is why I did a hobbit house tutorial not so long ago. That's one idea for a style of hobbit houses, and I'm really happy with the way this has turned out. It looks quite natural into the hill, as you'll see throughout the rest of the video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and here we go. Now, what I want to do is find a nice place to start. So we've got this here, it's almost like a little path coming through, and then we have a little path that goes up here, and you can see where it's a little bit wider along this patch here. So I think this might be a good place to actually have the doorway, and that's the other thing we need. We need our doorway. I'm going to use green, even though I always moan about people using green for hobbit holes. The first thing you want to do is push it back, so that but you don't want to push it all the way back. If you go completely under, then it won't look as natural. So I'm just going to push it back a little bit, and then just put in my 3 blocks for the doorway, and the door's going to go there. And then I can actually start to put in the pillars. So you're going to have pillars either side of this door. This is the way I always do my hobbit holes. And then you can put your stairs like this. And I'll be showing you other stuff in a minute about getting rid of these pillars and other detailing stuff. But then just for the back here, you can put in the start of your walls, because the walls are going to be on that level. And let's say we want to have a window here. Maybe this is like a room that juts forward more than the door does, so we don't want it to come out too far, maybe 2 blocks. So from this height here, we'll get rid of this, and we'll do it, let's go for 5 wide. 5 wide seems like a nice number. So we've got 5 across there and across there, and what I'm going to do now is actually dig down so that you can see all of this level, and this is where the bottom of this wall would be, and this little dirt bit here is where the floor would be. So I'm just going to punch out those blocks. As you can see, that's what we're left with there. And you can see at the moment it's not looking very natural or anything like that. I'm going to put pillars back in, and you can either jut them out like this, that can get you some really nice detail going, but I think for this bit that's sticking out, I'm just going to leave it like this and just have them sort of square and flat with the wall, and we can get the detail that we want in a bit later on. I'm also going to do this so you can see where the walls of this hobbit hole are going to be, and we'll probably end up covering them up in a minute. Okay, so there's that done. Next thing that I want to do is try and make this a little bit more natural. So I'm going to bring this through, get rid of that block there, and swap this out for grass. This is just making the next area here by this where these windows are going to be. So we're going to have 2 windows there like that. I'll just stick them in. Use the white stained glass because it's hard to see through them. There we go. So we've got 2 windows there like that, and then I'm going to do this little facade thing that we do on the front, and it's just going to be going up by a slab on each side, and then because this is a gap of 3, it's going to be sort of a full block across the top like that, but you only want the top slab. You can see you get this shape going. Now, this is one stage of getting that nice round curve, and then what you can do is bring the grass blocks out to meet up with this curve. Just like this. It covers up the ceiling for your roof, and it looks quite nice, and if you get it right, it will look sort of naturally made. And what you want to do on top of that as well, as you can see I've just brought this down a little bit there, just so it fits in a little bit more, and you might have to go and redo quite a bit of the sort of contours to make this look rather natural, like that. That'll do, that looks fine. And I'm also just going to put them like this as well, just sort of feed that up, and yeah. And you also need to bring this forward a little bit. Now you don't want it to go all the way out to the edge, maybe just to about here, just so it's sort of the whole hill in general sort of follows into where this bit of the hill is, like the sort of contour. Bring it out a little bit here as well. Get rid of that block for that. And you can see now I've got this straight jagged line. Like I was saying in the last episode, you don't want those straight lines, so just get rid of that a little bit, like that. That looks alright. And I can bring this forward, maybe put one like that, swap that out there, and then bring it forwards once more, but you don't want to do it too much this time. Maybe just about there, and then, you know, something a little bit like that. You can see this starts to flow really nicely now with the rest of the hill, and it just looks like it fits in a lot more, like similar to what we were doing over here, where you've got this line that just follows down, and you've got this one here that falls down. That's sort of basically what you're doing, but you're making it look natural, like it's being fit around. The other thing that you can do then is actually put slabs underneath all of this, and then you want to get a different type of slab. This is just for extra detailing that I like to do, and I think I've actually done this the wrong way around. I think normally I do it the other way, but we're going to put extra shelter in like that, and then you can put the extra lip on with the oak wood slabs like this. And then what that can actually do is you can bring it out even further, but that requires you to then sorry about my voice, that requires you to then go back and edit everything that you've just done to make it sort of fit, make it look a little bit more natural again, make it look better in general. And we'll just leave it like that. It's not perfect, but it's a little bit nicer, and you don't always have to go right up to the edge as well with these sections here. You can just sort of leave it a little bit more like this. That'll be fine. There you go. And then obviously bone meal it. When you bone meal it, it always hides a lot of the ugliness as well to these hills. Sometimes when you don't get it perfect first time, put a bit of bone meal on top, and then it should look nice. There you go, and it just sort of hides sort of the squareness and the horrible edges to some of these sections. There you go, and that's that bit done. Now we go back to this here. So we're going to do pretty much the exact same idea here, just bringing the hill out to match where the doorway is. You want the hill to be flowers, to sort of match here, maybe go in a little bit here, and I can actually get rid of these two blocks. Maybe we don't want those two blocks to actually be part of the building. Do that there. We can put these slabs along like this. Maybe get rid of that one as well. Put that on top, and then you can sort of bring this down and around like we did for the inside of those these window sections here, like we've brought that round. So that's basically what I'm doing here, bringing it down, making it look a little nicer. We're gonna have to do that, I'm afraid, just for the shape that I've got. The other things that you can do is to make this a little bit more round, put the stairs in, put your slab on top like that, and then you can swap those out for cobblestone walls. So if I find my cobble walls, if I'm in the right section, cobblestone walls, here we go. Put those in, and then change the material to match the oak, that one, and of course we want to copy the stained clay into the blocks behind, so it looks like the wall's carrying on. There you go. Again, with the roof, you want to make it so it comes forwards like this, and redo all the naturalization. Bring that down, bring it round, bring that round a little bit more. Maybe not that much. There you go, looks fine. We can do this and then follow it through to about here. As you can see, we really are redoing quite a bit of the hill that we made in the last video just for making this hobbit hole look better, but it's a lot nicer to see something like this than it is to see sort of the other general shapes. And again, it looks quite nice, and it's making the hill less steep, it's making it flow a little nicer, makes it more of a rolling type of hill. And then again, you just need to bone meal. If I get my bone meal out, there we go. Just bone meal over the top, and this doesn't have to be perfect. The hills, it doesn't have to look great, because when you do bone meal and you put bushes in, you put what's the other thing? Trees on top as well. Completely hides it all. So don't worry too much about every block being perfect. And there you go. There's sort of one hobbit hole done there. It looks really nice, fits into the hill, and if anything, it's actually improved the shape of that hill, just to make it look a little smoother and a little nicer. I was going to do another one over here because it's a shallow hill, but I don't think I need to, because it's exactly the same technique, just going over and again, doing the exact same thing. If you did want to have a window next to the door, just do this exact same technique here and just bring it to there, and it will do pretty much the same thing for you there. I'm actually just going to bring these round and down a little bit, like that. Yeah, it looks alright. Do the same over here, so it's going to be like that. Was that right? Yeah. And just for a little bit of extra detailing, I'm going to put some pillars like this to actually support that frame, and then maybe here you want a little flower bed, so you can get some nice coloured flowers, just some tulips go in, put some red ones in as well. There. And this is a really easy technique for the trapdoor thing. Do that, get a trapdoor out. Where do we want to put this? Just put it there, I suppose, like that. Get a stick. Get a stick. There we go. Copy it. Go to these blocks. Replace them. There you go, you got a nice little flower bed going as well. I really don't like using this glass. I've only used it so you can't really see the dirt behind. I tend to like the normal glass panes just because you can see through them. I've never really liked this white texture, especially against the yellow. It seems too harsh, and if you wanted to, you can change the biome of the stained clay to, I think it's the, oh, which one is it? Birch forest, that's the one. So if you left click and then click like that, and it makes it smooth texture, so it looks a little bit nicer. And that's about it for the hobbit holes, I guess. I think I'm going to do a small how-to video on bushes, the way I do my hedges and stuff like that, which I've already done in my Let's Build a Hobbit series. It was that one. Yeah, it was. I'm going to go, I guess, maybe episode 6 or 7. One of those. And then I'll start talking about forests and stuff, and I'm probably only going to focus on this one section since that's where we've made our hobbit hole, or maybe do the forest on that hill because we've got the hobbit hole over here. But yeah, that's about it. Just making it all look nice, make it look like it actually fits into the hole, into the hill. Looks quite natural, and you can see from over here, it doesn't look like the hole's being made. It doesn't look like the hill's being made by the hole. It looks like the hole's being made by the hill, if that makes sense. So it just fits in, and you can see the contours of the hill just follow down, and then, oh, there's a little bit of a building there, and then carries on going. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.